All right, how you doing out there? Ian Alexy here. I'm on my way home from my tour. My tour from Austin, Texas, all the way back up to the Duluth area of Minnesota and over in Wisconsin where I live. And I figured I'd talk to the camera a little bit. For one thing, so that I can remember some of the stuff that happened later because it's such a whirlwind, and I've been traveling by myself and lucky enough to stay with a lot of friends and stuff. But it's good to now I'm in a hotel. I'm on my way home, so sometimes it's nice to document stuff so that I've got documentation of my time and my effort. I'm a little weary right now. I've kind of done all the driving myself, and I've done 8 shows over the past 2 weeks or so. So not a crazy schedule by any means. I started off playing in Chippewa Falls at a place called the Bridgewater, which my friend Judy booked for me. Thank you, Judy. And then I went to South Dakota. I played a house concert in Renner for some really nice people. My friend Tom Eisner helped set that up, and a woman named Pamela hosted me. Thank you so much, Pamela. That was awesome. I got to stay at this retreat, played the house concert. That was back on Super Bowl Sunday. Before the game, we hung out and watched the game, and I got to stay there, and then I continued. And before that, I just want to quickly mention that for the first time ever in the afternoon in Minneapolis on my way over, I played at a nursing home. A friend of mine is a nurse there. And yeah, it was pretty cool. I had a nice conversation with a woman named Shirley who was there just kind of hanging out while I set up my stuff. And yeah, it was good to include that part of the demographic on my tour. How about that? And then I went down to Austin, Texas, which was an amazing time, and I got to spend a full 4 or 5 days down there. But when I first went down there, as soon as I got to town, I had an early gig at this place called the Carousel, which was a sort of circus themed bar that's been there since I don't know, everything has been there forever in Austin. I want to say the early 60s or even the late 50s. And it's probably been in some films and stuff. I need to look that up because it looks very familiar to me. So that was a little low key, but it was great. There was some people there. The other band I saw was really good. I saw so many bands in Austin, and I feel bad that I can't remember a lot of the names because people were playing music everywhere. It's not even South by Southwest, but it's just such an active music scene. Really cool to go down there and do a few shows. We also was hanging out with my friend Cornbread, who's also a musician. Had stayed at his place for some of the time I was down there, and we went to see Jimmie Vaughn with the Mike Flanigin Trio at Sea Boys in Austin. And that is an experience that's, if you ever go to Austin, you should check that out. I mean, of course I know who Jimmie Vaughn is. I remember the Fabulous Thunderbirds and the record he made with his brother and everything back when I was just learning guitar. Or just starting to learn guitar. I'm still learning the guitar, actually. So anyway, he's a legendary dude. So I did know about him, but I was listening to Bill Burr's podcast a couple of years ago, and he had gone to see the Mike Flanigin Trio with Jimmie Vaughn, which is what we saw at Sea Boys, and he talked about how great it was and recommended it. So this is actually the second time I've gone to see him. And Jimmie plays almost like in a Grant Green sort of funky blues style, and they sort of employ this Texas shuffle rhythm. And Mike Flanigan's an incredible organ player, and he plays these kind of go-go bass lines with his left foot on the big giant pedals. So we stood by the stage and kind of watched his feet on the pedals. It was amazing. Such a great show. And I got to meet Jimmie. I got to shake the man's hand and just say thank you. That was as far as the conversation got. There's kind of a line of people waiting to talk to him. But he's a really gracious guy. He stands there and talks to everybody that wants to talk to him. He hangs out among the crowd. He had some other guitarist take the stage and lead the band as well. I wish I knew what that guy's name was. And while that was going on, he just hung out in the crowd and he danced with a couple ladies, and he was just having a good time, looking sharp in the black suit with the cowboy boots, just killing it. I'm not sure how old he is, but he's killing it. He's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite bands right now for sure. Mike Flanigin Trio with Jimmie Vaughn. Then I played at the Hole in the Wall in Austin. It's my third time down there. Thank you to my friend Rich Madsen for initially connecting me with someone there to play there. Yeah, it was great. I played in the front room there. It was a Sunday night, but there was a good turnout. There were some other songwriters there as well. Cool to just see how people do it down there. A lot of good lyricists, a lot of people playing songs that weren't necessarily theirs, but songs I hadn't heard from like other Texas songwriters. So always an education down there, and that's part of the reason that I do this, I guess, because I love music and I want to be a part of a community of musicians of the world, of the universe. Let's see, and I did a couple of shows in Kansas. I played in Auntie Mae's in Manhattan, Kansas the other night with a songwriter named Anna P.S., who did some really cool looping stuff and also played the flute and has a great voice. Enjoyed her. I sort of, at the end of my show, the room is set up where the musicians sort of play partially under this staircase, but you can see down the long sort of hall with booths on one side and a bar on the other side. So at the end of my show, I could see the people, but while I was playing, and it felt like I was connecting, but they were far away. So at the end of the show, I unplugged and I walked up the bar and sort of played Hallelujah for people. I a lot of times will end my sets with it and try and get the audience to sing the chorus with me. So I walked up, no mic, not plugged in, and I didn't exactly know if it was going to work with the acoustics or not, but it works pretty well. But it's a long song, so there I am up there, like it's a lot of verses and everything, and Anna sort of magically appeared and started to sing it with me, which really helped get it going, and some of the audience members sang as well. So that was cool. Thank you, Anna. And then last night I was in Wichita. I tried to find out who Jack Straw from Wichita is. I asked a couple of old dudes that I thought might know. Didn't get any answer on that one. I did hear a good band called Lonesome Stranger. Really good blues band, funky blues band. I like all the blues I hear. I've heard on this tour actually. And also my friend Lilly Francis, who helped connect me with Kirby's beer store in the first place. So, and she was great. She's got a phenomenal voice, great songwriter, great guitar player, man. She's really, really talented. I'd heard her once a few years ago, and so and that was out in Colorado at a place I can never remember the name of. Oh God, she just told me what it was last night too. But anyway, it was, when I heard her before, it was amongst a whole bunch of other artists, and I think she was playing with other people and blah blah blah. But just to hear her up there by herself last night was great. She just really killed it. I was impressed. And yeah, I felt that all of my sets, all of my shows went well. I was not disappointed at all. I've had a lot of fun. I've taken care of myself, trying to stay healthy on the road and eat good, hitting all the Whole Foods markets, trying to stay at nicer places and with friends, not beat myself up in the shitty hotels as much as I did when I was younger. So yeah, having a great time. Tomorrow I'm going to be at Nonic Brewery playing for Valentine's Day with my friend Nick Foytik. We're probably going to play some music together as well. Nick is a great guitarist and singer from the Eau Claire area. Kind of got a good finger style thing going on, kind of like Charlie Parr, but also who's that guy? Derek Trucks. You know, he's Nick's a talented cat. So that's tomorrow, Valentine's Day, and I'm gonna get some rest tonight because I have been driving my ass off, doing all the driving by myself on this trip. But I don't mind at all. It's been great. All right, I'll see you down the road.